It's okay. The surf's not good anyways. We might as
Dude,
well hang out and shoot the shit.
This is a great excuse to put off
The
everything.
surf's not good anyways. Hang out and shoot the shit.
hold on a second here, guys. Okay. All right. All right. I think we got it, everybody. Thanks for bearing with us on that last setup attempt there. I've got my technical support here behind the scenes trying to make sure that we smooth on through this intro. Looking over there for her. But in the meantime, I'm going to get this introduction underway here. Today, we have Dave from Kelly Camp representing from South Orange County. And we have Stephen Back representing from Oceanside, typically found at the South Jetty areas. Yeah, so today we're going to spit a little bit about surfing, Epic Surf News board meeting style. We got multiple people. Anybody today that was looking out for Mitch Farner, unfortunately, he was unable to make it, but definitely we're going to be talking about Mitch a little bit in this meeting. So anyhow, everybody, Dave, how's it going, brother?
Oh, it's going good, Phil.
Nice.
To see you. We did a good one of these maybe a year ago. It was fun.
That's right. That was we talked a little bit about Kelly Camp, which is a surf tour guiding that you provide, a kind of a all-around type of support service for that.
Yeah, we were right in the middle of hardcore quarantine times.
That's right. That was actually, come to think of it, I mean, you guys were just kind of getting all these different extra frills for your services ready to go, a new location, all this kind of stuff, and then everything tanked and it just kind of derailed the plans a little bit. But you guys kept kicking, kept doing what you can do during that time, right?
Yeah. It's I think it was good that we used the time wisely. You know, we were hosting mostly, like high 90% international guests since 2013. And that obviously went to zero. So it just kind of forced our hand to look more at a domestic market, bringing over surfers, that are, want to get out here from, say East Coast or even Midwest. It's, a lot of it's like a learn to surf type thing.
Sure.
So, yeah, we focused on that. And today, if it's any sign of where we're headed with this, we're seeing a really healthy split between international and American bookings. So the international travel it's coming back.
Yeah.
Slow, but it's coming.
Cool, man. That's good to hear. Yeah, Steven South Jetty, man, what's going on this morning with the waves down there?
Oh my God, I was just down there looking at it. It's the wind is on it. It's white capping. It's sand is blasting your face. You're getting sand papered face. But it was absolutely beautiful. And South Jetty has been amazing lately, Philip. I think the river busted through and all the sand, little grains are creating these sandbars right around in front of the condo area and around the jetties. And it's just been a hub of activity. In fact, Chris Cote was there 2 days ago. Everybody's down there with cameras, filming all these little kids ripping in the Learn to Rip. Sky Brown and her family pretty much camps out every day with us. And it's just like a hobnobbing of elbow rubbing, partying, catch a wave and catch a good vibe kind of place every day.
Nice, man. That's good to hear. I've definitely seen, as I come over the bridge, I've seen that area you're talking about breaking really fun. It was kind of like the secret spot, but I don't think it's a secret spot anymore. I think
not with my mouth and my daily with my daily posting of the South Jetty's firing. It's like pretty much going to be like Malibu pretty soon. All due to me.
That's right, man. So yeah, so right on, man. Good to hear. Yeah, like I said, Mitch Farner wasn't able to make it, but he was going to come on today. We're going to talk about Black's Beach a little bit. I mean, Oceanside's great, but Black's Beach, I went there for the first time. Mitch kind of tour guided me in there, kind of like an advanced Kelly camp setup. We caravanned actually, and showed me where to park, showed me how to walk, and I took a little picture out front, up on the cliff before we walked down. Dude, that was an experience, man. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys have been over there too as well, I'm sure this is my first time, but I'm going to pull up one of a video of Mitch here in a second, share it with you guys. But to give you the short story, Mitch, I mean, he rides like a 9, it was a 9-1. I mean, the rails on this thing are about that. I mean, I'm not joking, like that thick. And it's a board I could never surf in big waves. I mean, I need a little board that I can punch through and hold on to. But so anyways, he's been there a bunch of times. He's been training it for the place. And so we get there, and within 40 minutes, he's catching like serious bombs on the peak, on the point or the peak, getting shacked. I mean, just doing everything. Like the whole lineup's cheering for the dude. My first opportunity, I thought I was on the outside, but the waves doubled up while we were there. And I got the biggest ass whooping I've had in probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years. I mean, I can't even remember how long it's been since, maybe Hurricane Marie, I don't know, but I got drilled in the deep section. I was hammered. So we had 2 different experiences. Okay, it was 6 to 10. So I never surfed it before. My goal was to go when it was like 3 to 4 foot and figure it out. Oh, dude, it was trial by fire, dude, and I got hammered. I mean, I got a wave before I got out, but anyways, yeah. If you guys have been there, let me know what's up. I'm gonna pull up his clip in a minute, right here, while you guys are letting me know.
To give a quick run, so having been Mira Mesa High School, that was kind of like our proving ground because we grew up the wrong side of the tracks, but Black's was just like a 10-minute drive for us. And the topography underground of that place, it's a submarine canyon. And that's why the water comes from really deep water and it hits this canyon and it gets channeled through this submarine space. And I've literally had a 4-foot wave hit me so hard and pin me to the sand. I've never had that happen anywhere else.
Yeah, that's crazy. What about you, Dave? You been down there?
Yeah, definitely. When I was, in younger days, every day it was on. We would go. It was the first time I was there. It was, it was like double overhead plus, and I'm on a little board, and first time I'm wearing a hood, and just got smoked. Learned my lesson. Definitely come back with a bigger board.
Okay. And
but it's legit. I'm guessing your friend Mitch, who took you there on the big board, is maybe well traveled. That bigger board is everything. You can
if
a lot easier. So if I go down there, I'm like just not afraid to bring the baddest weapon I have.
I'm kind of going the other direction in my learning of surfing. So shortboard's my thing. I'm very uncomfortable on bigger boards, but so I think it's really cool when people can manage a really big board in big surf. I mean, that's not an easy task.
I mean, I'm talking like, I'm not, riding a 9.0 board down there, but if I'm going down there, I'm 5'8", and I'm not afraid to bring a 6'6", like a gun, just that being able to get in the wave is just everything. And you can just moving around the lineup is a lot easier as well.
Okay.
One of the best things about that spot too is when the water warms up, I do my annual surf naked pilgrimage. And if the water is at least 70, you never surf the main peak or the main spot because people are going to know you and see you. So you go all the way down to where the old men are playing volleyball, right? And you can surf all by yourself, totally naked. And it's like the most liberating, insane feeling ever. So I try and do at least like once every summer. I'm not going to show pictures of that. You don't want to see it I'm 55 years old, but it's a freaking insane feeling.
Yeah, it's cool. So, it's all that La Jolla is like getting so populated, right? So like, where I came down, we came down the cement trail, and there's that left. That's where we were at.
Yeah.
So are you talking? Because if you go towards the pier, I mean, it's not really that remote anymore. If you go towards the pier, are you talking going north towards the glider port?
Yeah, you even go way past the glider port and you go towards the Torrey Pines Reserve. So what I do is I park up at the Torrey Pines Reserve, and then you hike down to Flat Rock. So there's like a razor flat rock. Everybody's seen that picture.
Okay.
And then you go just to the left. And that's where all the naked old guys are playing volleyball. But there's nobody around. You can like paddle out there and sun your buns. And it is the most liberating feeling ever.
All right. Well, Viva Libertad, dude. You're going to get it on. So let me pull up here. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to pull this up. Let me see. Maybe I can share it with some sound. A little bit of music might come on here. The music's from actually a local surfer SUP guy, Andy, and one of his friends. So let's see if I can pull this short clip right here. This box setup. Kind of grainy, but bear with it. That's on a 9-1, the thick rails. They look like probably a little less than 4 inches. They were, probably heavy three. A couple of extra pictures here.
A little Stray Cats from 1984.
Yeah, right. Let's see here. I gotta
look at that big board just doing the work. He's
right?
like he's locked in. Yeah.
Dude, so that was actually okay. So that was probably about I mean, for the day when we were out there, that was probably maybe like a 7.5 foot wave right there. There was waves that were 9 foot and like peaking on 10 while we were out there. I mean, it was huge. So that was actually I saw him get that wave. I was on the shoulder. By that point, before I got a wave, I got smashed by like 3 9-footers in a row. And I was like on the shore, like, I mean, I was kind of like devastated, dude. I was like, what the heck? And I looked to the side and, the whole lineup got cleaned out when I got cleaned out, but I was the farthest out and I was like, pretty much with everybody by the time, I shook it off, and boards were broken and I looked to the side, boards were in half. People were just like worked. So by the time Mitch was catching those waves, I went back out, kind of like, investigated the lineup, but I really didn't want none. After I got served, I was like, man, I wasn't feeling it. So I kind of came over to the shoulder, picked off like a 6-footer before I got out just to say I got something. But Mitch was like just running it. So shout out to Mitch Farner. Anybody who's watching out there, Mitch is the man. I mean, people were hooting for the dude. The wave I caught in, here's the funny part of the end of the story. I was on the shoulder. I shoulder hopped somebody. I didn't even, I didn't know. So I can hear the guy though, I was going to get ready to drop down and I can hear somebody go, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, oh shit, someone's behind me. So I just kind of you can't, the wave's so, throwy. You can't just jump out the back real easy. So I just beelined it down the line and, pulled out. Anyways, come up from that, trying to get in. And I could see the guy down the line, like, go in, I was being cool. I gave him the peace sign, like, oh, sorry, like I was like, my bad, and really I was already going in, Dave, Steven. I was just trying to get one in because I got pounded. I went back out and I was just floating around for forever. It felt like just in the safe zone, right? Like forever, and caught that one out. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted to catch one in and get out of there. Like I was like, I had my fill. So it's like when he was telling me to go in, I was just like super pieced out, like in my head, like I'm going in, bro. Anyways.
And then after that, dude, the worst is that the hike up the paved road, especially if you got your lift handed to you, then you got to hike that paved road. And then the parking on La Jolla Farms Drive, they only give you 20 minutes. And then that's because that's all private homes. They're like multi-million-dollar estates. So they give you like 20 minutes and then you get a ticket.
Wow. They had security up there, which was nice. But what I gotta say, we parked in the neighborhood, but so here's the funny part. So I got out of the water and I had to do that hike you're talking about, up that thing. And I was like, but anything was better than getting like drilled. And by that point, so I got out, I'm walking up. I see that there's guys that can actually park there, right? Like the super local rich surfer people or whatever. So they're down at the bottom with their cars. I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. I see them drive by. I try not to look at them because I know they're going to feel bad. They probably get puppy dog eyes all day long from surfers walking up that hill. So I just, they cruise by. And then, so anyways, I didn't even say, like, Mitch probably got like 5 or 6 bombs. Most of them bigger than that one you saw. So I just bounced, I'm like, okay, I'm going to, handle myself, walk myself out. So then I get on the freeway and then Mitch calls me pretty quickly. I'm like, wow, he got out, and up pretty quick. So he got out and the locals put him in the back of their truck and gave him a ride up the hill because he was running it.
Yeah, you get a key. Like if you're on UCSD surf team, you get a key for that gate.
Oh, okay.
The coveted gate key.
Yeah.
Dude, but I'm just saying, I got pointed to the beach in my session with him. He got chaired all the way up in the back of a pickup truck. I'm like, oh, gosh, dude.
I know it's every time I ever surf blacks. I mean, it's always crowded, right? Especially when it's good. Yeah. The best way, everybody's always looking at the lefts. Steven, I don't know if this will make sense here, if I'm giving away too much. Sorry if I do, but the best ways I've ever had at blacks were always these like against the grain right-handers, kind of more towards the North Peak.
I saw
every now and then one just will do it, and not too many people are really looking at those.
Yeah, and you're riding towards the mushroom house. You kind of get a good view of the mushroom house when you do that. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is like couple do it right.
I saw some of those right there I'd call it where the left was breaking. I did see a few rights come in. I was eyeballing them, but I couldn't get any. But up the beach, the rights were cranking at the same day that the left was coming in. I don't know. It's like 100 yards up or whatever, like the other side of the channel, if you call it. And the rights looked amazing. I kind of wanted to go over there too. It looked really good.
First time I ever saw sharks too. There's a lot of because of the deep canyon there. I saw some like the little blue reef sharks, and you'll actually see them cruising the lineup, and they're kind of small. They're like 4 to 5 feet, but they're so beautiful to see. And the water at Blacks, I think most people know, it's really crystal clear. You can see all the way to the bottom.
Right.
And great place. Like first time I ever saw sharks there too.
So when I was out there, I was tripping out. I'm trying to learn everything from the parking to the walk, and so all the birds and the dolphins. There was definitely a bunch of sea life going on, and definitely sharks were on the mind. And it was cold. I was shivering. It was a frozen day for wintertime. It was really cold that day. That added to the whole like effect. Sea life, dude. So Dave, you see any sea life out there?
A lot of dolphins. Mm-hmm. Every time I ever went down, I've never surfed it on just like a normal day. Like it was always like some swell, and me and a buddy would decide we're gonna up and go. So no, not too much. Just a lot of dolphins around, but it's like Steven says, the water's crystal clear. It's super beautiful. Like the whole backdrop, when you're sitting in the water, like looking at La Jolla Cove, and it's really beautiful. And the wave is just 100% legit. It's
right. Like, so
I was the next level.
So when I went there, usually I'm complaining, bitching at Surfline for like their forecast, right? Like it's going to be so big, and then you show up, it's like a foot or two smaller, and you're like, man, I wish it was bigger. And so when I went there, we were there for 40 minutes before the real sets came in. So I thought it was out. I'm like, oh, it's like 4 to 5. I got this. And all of a sudden, it really stacked up to the Surfline forecast. So it's like, man, if you want to stop bitching at Surfline for talking shit, go to Blacks. I think their forecast or their surf report for Blacks is legit. If they say it's going to be what it is, it's going to be that big. I think that's the place you're talking about.
I think blacks and lowers are in San Diego County, the two best waves in all of California. I'm going to say blacks and lowers.
Yeah, lowers is amazing, but I mean, lowers is kind of like a pillow, like a soft pillow wave. I mean, it like you can really, I mean, it has a fun little like throw sections that it can pump out, but I mean, it's pretty like a cozy wave. I've surfed there on huge and it still seemed cozy, like blacks is like, dude, I got hammered, bro. I was like ragdoll.
Like in the wintertime, if it's really small in Oceanside, go to blacks and you're going to have a great time. It's going to be fun. Blacks gets super scary and gnarly when it, like you said, when it gets like over 6 foot, it can get it gets powerful.
So speaking about powerful waves, did you guys check out the WSL Pipeline or Sunset comps?
I watched Pipeline. I didn't see anything from Sunset, actually.
Yeah, Sunset's not the best visuals, I guess. Like, it's not that exciting to me. It seems like a giant Huntington Beach or something. Did you check it out, Steven? Did you see any of the comps?
I watched them both. Sunset looks incredibly gnarly. Like, it just doesn't look like a fun wave. It definitely a place to challenge yourself, but I'd probably be the last person to want to paddle out on a big day there. It just looks like it's just a beat down and like all kinds of like ribs and all kinds of weird things going on in the water, the way it does the bumps. But to see Kelly at his age come and win that, and then to see a rookie like Moana had to be one of the most epic, insane contests I've ever watched. Kelly the GOAT at his age, and then to see like all the local young rookies on tour are freaking killing it at their home spot. So, and that's what surfing's all about. It's all about being an old guy or a young person just ripping the shit out of it.
Yeah. So who were you rooting for, Dave? Were you rooting for somebody in the comp or?
I mean, I'll root for Kelly Slater every event forever, as long as he's doing it. It was like emotional, I mean, I realized like I've seen this guy's whole career. Like, he's been the guy since day one. And like to see it all culminate to that, it was like I had to really think like, man, it's really been a privilege to watch him do his thing. But what's crazy is like, there's kids out there who will debate that LeBron is better than Michael Jordan. But even the little kids in surfing, like Slater is still holding on, like he's still the guy.
Right. Oh yeah. No, I mean, I like to, in the surfing side of it, I like to be like, the Fletcher or the Slater, was the organization this or that. But I mean, no matter which way you slice it, I mean, Slater is just a beast. I mean, he's just like he is pretty supernatural when it comes to surfing.
I'm a big Jordy Smith fan as well. So I was pulling for him. He's met him a couple times and been at surf with him, and he's such a cool dude. And I think his backside barrel riding looks a lot like Andy Irons.
Yeah. I mean, he's a super stable guy. It's funny you talk about the emotional part. So, it's competition, right? So, I mean, you got to know the rules and you got to play the rules and work it. But, I found myself kind of like, I was projecting my expectations on Slater because, like, I mean, he's so good and I want him to, like you said, I like to see him win. I definitely enjoy watching his surfing, but I think we got to the semis. He faced Miguel Pupo, and before the heat started, I was watching with my wife and stuff, and I was like, oh man, I'm like, Miguel's really good, but like, he's such a nice guy, and like, I'm like, Slater's gonna press him, like no doubt. And sure enough, Slater comes out the gates, when there was no priority set. And, they kind of, do the crisscross thing. And, Slater's just, I mean, he's been doing this for a long time. So and then that kind of seemed like it worked against Miguel Pupo. And then Miguel Pupo was just kind of like shut down for the rest of the heat. And it did make me a little bummed because I was like, man, I'm like, Slater, like maybe you could have won like, more honorably or whatever. But, then I'm thinking like, man, dude's 50, man. He better use everything he's got. So yeah, and then he kind of did that with Seth Moniz in the finals too. Seth Moniz didn't fall for it because I think Miguel got a what do you call it, interference on the, Slater forced the interference on Miguel Pupo, and then he tried to do the same thing to Seth in the finals, and Seth didn't fall for the interference, but I think Slater like set his dominance right off the bat with that, kind of jockey, packed point break hustle,
He was fired up.
Dude, I mean, yeah. So I had to kind of like talk myself down out of being like super critical about it, because I was like, man, he took it to him. I mean, these kids are he's like generations away from them. Like you said, Steven, Moana Jones, 20-year-old wild card, right? I mean, think about that. 20 years old, wild card. She's not even on the CT, and she took out, I mean, she won every heat she could win, and then she took out Carissa Moore, the best in the world for women at this point, right? Helmets, what's up? You guys down with the helmets?
For sure. I think so. I think it's, it's kind of like wearing a mask, I guess, during this whole COVID thing.
Right.
But person, make their own decision and don't look down on it. I've had, there's some good friends that I watch surf like Tanner Waite. Okay. Tanner Waite at Oceanside Harbor. He's been charging Mavericks. He was charging really big Hawaiian waves, and he got a severe concussion. Oh, wow. And he started wearing a helmet, and some people were trying to give him shit about it. And I think number one is protect your noggin and have fun in life. But I think you got to do protect yourself. We only got one life as we know it, and have fun at it.
Right. Yeah, I think if I went to pipe, I'd probably put on a helmet. It's a nice wave, but still, I mean, that reef looks super, super hard.
Alan Cleland, who's from a really heavy beach break in Mexico. He's even wearing them at home.
Right.
I think this was, he got insane waves on the North Shore this season, but he's wearing them over sand, and it's just, you're riding those big boards, you get hit in the head.
Yeah, because I mean, exactly, it's your board as well. Yeah. I mean, I have a scar back here. When I shave my hair low, it's visible. But I think you might have turned me on to Alan Cleland before, Dave. And guy rips. I mean, he's just
man. He's a charger. He's like pit bull and just
solid,
like tree trunks. Really good surfer.
Yeah, right on, everybody. Yeah, check out Alan Cleland from Mexico. Guy's killing it. If you don't follow him, you might want to check him on Instagram. I mean, he's putting up clips all the time, heavy wave stuff. So super awesome. Yeah. And then Sunset Beach, that was a 22-year-old Brisa Hennessy from Costa Rica who won the Sunset Beach comp. Same thing. She's 22, I think. She is a CT competitor. That I think she's pretty new to the CT, but basically another young woman who's taking out, veterans that are on the tour. On the men's side, that was Barron Mamiya, also 22-year-old. So basically,
Barron's turns were insane.
Right?
Oh my God. Did you see his power surfing was insane.
He made Sunset Beach look like a fun wave.
He's got it all. Yeah. His barrel riding, he's just like the full deal.
He blew my mind watching that kid, and I'd barely even heard of his name before.
He made it look easy. Yeah, well, he's young. So, I mean, I think I've seen flashes of him in other like Hawaiian contests over the last few years. But, I mean, he's a young kid and also a wild card. So he's not on tour. They pick him because he's good and he's, proven himself to be at that point. I was voting for Billy Kemper on the Sunset one, just figuring, he's a big wave guy and he might pull it off. But he got taken out. I did that survival league fantasy thing. I don't know if you guys heard of that, but they have like a little cash prize and surfboard quiver they give away, and you got to make it through the whole season. And I basically got kicked out at Sunset Beach. So don't take me to Vegas. I'm not going to win you any money. So on that note right there, I was going to share a couple more pictures real quick. Let's see here. Okay, so let's share this one first. So that's the lineup of the 32, or I should say it's like 35, 36 we try to have. That's the men. I'm just going to touch on this real quick. Not so much all these individuals here, but if you guys have noticed, Joel Tudor's been championing the charge to get equality with not only longboarding, but women. And I'm going to stop sharing that one. And then I'm going to bring up on the other side of it, we got the women. And
Joel usually shares some pretty good weed with me when he comes to the jetty.
Okay. I've seen him at the harbor. At the pier.
Of the green ganja. And he knows his stuff on what's a good bud and what isn't.
Yeah, he's vocal on a lot of fronts. That's for sure.
I'll see you at the harbor, Steven. I'll see you there.
So here's the women. So you got half as many women. Well, and he's more talking about longboarding. So I guess they got longboarding as a whole, kind of on the cutting board or slim down board, and then the women within that don't make as much as these women on the shortboarding stuff. So you can see here there's a bunch of rippers, a lot of new girls, new women, and a lot of veterans here. But it's basically half the amount of people. So on the CT, they're getting paid the same, now going to the same locations, which is awesome. But they're still like, half the people, which means they're getting, half the money at best. I'm going to share who's winning.
He started on his duct tape invitationals. It was always the men and women make the same amount of money. So good on you, Joel Tudor from La Jolla. I used to see that when he was a Grom at La Jolla Shores.
Nice. Yeah. So WSL, if you're out there, man, come on, pay these girls right. Give them the same amount of slots. I mean, maybe some guys got to get cut so they could be the right amount of women. I mean, I showed you a list. There's a bunch of new people. So a lot of these people are so new to tour. I'm not sure that they, everybody's, surf's good enough to be there. But at the same time, I think somebody needs to be cut from the men's to kind of straighten out the count for women. I mean, somebody's going to have to take the bullet. But here's I'm going
to take myself off the CT tour and let Naomi, the longboard, Naomi Tialevia or whatever her last name is.
Yeah.
Take my spot, just so you know.
Okay. On the women's longboarding tour, Steven's out. It's funny. I've actually sent a couple of messages to people, including Joel Tudor, about wild carding her into an event. I don't know, with the whole thing on the chopping block, I'm not sure what opportunities are there, but definitely would like to see her showing her stuff. So here's at this point we're going. I guess CT they're going to go to Portugal next, and so right now this is the top 5. Barron Mamiya with that sunset win that definitely pushed him up high. Kanoa, Seth with that pipe runner up. Kyle Belly, man, that guy has been solid for the last few years. I mean,
oh, dude, he used to always come to Oceanside.
Right.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
And then
his girlfriend's banging hot too.
Oh, dang. Luckily, Steven's married. So she's going to have to, wait till the next lifetime or something. So Kelly Slater, he made it on there 5th. He did get, so what's funny, I guess, on that note is I was bummed at him because he was pressing 2 guys at the pipe, at the pipe end of the pipe contest. And then what happened is they have overlapping heats at sunset. So John had priority in the overlapping heat, and his heat had priority overall. And he basically served up Slater that karma right back and forced an interference on Slater. He wasn't even in the same heat, and Slater got knocked out. So, man, that was, I'm sure, pretty tough to swallow for the champ. And John is no stranger to Slater's tactics. So Slater didn't quite give him a break back in the day, I think, in some of their meetups.
I don't think Slater gives out breaks.
No, I think.
But I saw the controversy floating around Instagram around what happened there, and you look at that video. It's a pretty weak call, dude. He was there like out of the wave before he's standing.
I see how they try to improve the rule over the years, and it does work at most places. But yeah, like, so here's what's the trip. So if that was a free surf, that was Slater's wave all day, right? Like Slater was way up on the peak. You know, he took off big old bottom turn before the other surfer even took off. So I mean, I think in a normal surf, that was Slater's wave all day. But dude, Slater wasn't giving up, like you said, he wasn't giving any breaks at pipe to nobody with the rules. So I had to say, yo, Slater, I think it came back to you, bro.
It goes both ways.
So here's the top 5 sharing up for the women. Brisa Hennessy with that win. Costa Rica. So she's stepping up. Speaking of Costa Rica.
That's Jimmy Hogan's girl.
Who's that?
That's Jimmy Hogan's girl. Jim Hogan's been like coaching her and like getting her all fired up for years, dude.
Okay, cool. Right on. Good for him. You saw Carlos Munoz. He took his shoulder out, speaking of Costa Rica, at the pipe contest, just paddling for the wave. He took a shoulder out, had to get surgery on the shoulder. That's crazy. I mean, that's the kind of shit that would happen to me, you know, at Blacks.
That happens to me, and it pops out like once every couple years paddling. I'll get my arm caught, and I gotta tell you, I can't even imagine having your shoulder pop out at like maxing pipeline. Terrifying.
Yeah, I'd be
bad time,
out.
bad thing.
So we have number 2, Malia Manuel. She's been on tour for a minute, and she's actually definitely stepping up her game. Moana Jones, the Queen of Pipe is what they're dubbing her now as. Carissa Moore, right? Champ. She got beat out there. And then Joanne DeFay in 5th. So that's kind of your current rankings for the 2022 season for men and women. So yeah, that's what I want to say there. Joel Tudor, keep up the good work. WSL, step up your game. So did you guys see the Tyler Allen video? Parody?
No.
Oh, shit. Okay. I'm going to, well, I have it on my channel. So I was going to share it now, but I don't want to flag this stream or anything. But if you go to my channel, Epic Surf News, everybody, check out, I uploaded the Tyler Allen. It's a Kelly Slater parody. He does a whole thing. Like he does a whole scenes, music. He's doing, it's basically he changes the words to blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Boop, boop. Blow the whistle. Boop, boop. You know, so check out that it's like a 1-minute video. Go check it out. You guys definitely won't be disappointed. I
think there's even worse that happened yesterday. I don't know if you're aware of this, Philip. Did you see Jonathan Wayne Freeman's Kook of the Day? What happened to him?
No, what happened?
So it was like, I'm still kind of distraught and trying to get over this one, but he actually came across the Girls Gone Wild videos of 1990 at Lake Havasu and discovered his wife had made one of those videos. So Gigi Freeman was oh my God, Girls Gone Wild Lake Havasu. And he was in freaking tears. Like, I don't know if he's going to be okay, bro.
It wasn't her, man. It must have just looked like her.
Hey, everyone's been with someone, man. Like, what are you gonna do? At least you know she's cool, likes to have a good time.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to break out
lessons.
Someone's gonna have pictures of John with beads too. You know, he had beads on back in the day at some festival somewhere.
John's got skeletons in the closet. Yeah, that guy looks like he likes to party.
So also Zoltan, everybody, he's been on the show before.
Yeah.
Zoltan, dude, he just shared he was featured in a Red Bull special. So a bunch of different surf stories, and Zoltan from Santa Cruz, everybody, go check it out. It's online, and I just want to give a shout out because he's been on the show.
Clearwater Gorilla Glue
That's
is
right.
the secret. That's the secret behind his success.
That's
Clearwater Gorilla Glue.
Those are his sponsors right there. So they're keeping Zoltan surfing and feeling good. They got a CBD pop and everything. So also in the news, John Mel, he won that Pismo QS comp. I think it was only a 1 star or something, but shout out to John Mel. That's the legend's son, he's also charging with Peter Mel on big waves these days. So pretty cool. I dropped two sick edits, everybody, from North County, San Diego. They were out maybe a little over a week ago. So go check those out. Really cool footage, people wiping out, people surfing good. Some snake moves going on, which by the way, one of them was featured on Kook of the Day, a snake clip that I got.
That was a good.
Yeah, let me pull that. Let me pull that up real quick.
I thought it was you dropping in on the guy, but I guess it wasn't.
Check this out. Dave, you're going to have to give us your rundown on this one right here.
Catching all the way.
Dropped it. Boom.
Look it out. The boards land on top of each other. Watch this. Scoot ahead. So you know what I mean. What do you think?
All right. I don't want to get too into like, all the problems with society and all. But like people need to chill. Like if there's spots that like you got to have a certain level of like awareness, right? Like what do they say the definition of a kook is someone who's unaware, if I'm quoting John Freeman.
Right.
But if you're out at a spot like that,
right,
and you're freaking swinging around, acting like a tough guy, you're just a dork, dude. You probably have other things going on in your life that have you utterly miserable. Because that's just like really uncool. This day and age, like, I don't know.
So yeah, it was a busy day. The waves were really good. We were on the, sitting there on the beach for all day barbecuing and taking our time going in and out of the water. But yeah, I mean, there was more backstory to it. The longboarder was getting a bunch of waves, and both guys are, like you said, probably more newer to that. Like the faces were a little bit newer. And so I know some of the guys, the old timers at the spot, what they like to say is like, that guy's got no clue, which is kind of like what you said, like you can surf, but like you have to work with the crowd. If there's going to be a crowd, you got to take your turn. You got to recognize other surfers in the lineup, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so, it's a tough call, actually. I mean, not knowing a little more context,
right.
You kind of can look at the other guy a little different.
Right.
But I mean, I had a similar experience. I was surfing churches with my brother not long ago, maybe months ago. And it wasn't like the best day, but it had some size and it was chunky, and a kid caught a wave. And there was a lull in the set, and he came right back around us. And I kid you not, he got the very next wave. But I gave him like the little, I'm going to go.
Right.
And I went, and 10 minutes later, his dad jumps in. Drop it on my son. I'm like, I got to get out of here. Like, I'd rather just leave. I'd rather go surf closeouts in anywhere, than go deal with that. Like, people need to chill.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you got to have fun. I mean, you got to, and then like, the whole kid thing is a whole nother scenario.
The kid was like 17 years old.
Oh,
I was like,
he's got facial hair.
It's getting awkward out there, guys.
No more push-ins. No more push-ins allowed. I got a friend who's got a 18-year-old, and we were out at a busy place, and somebody was trying to force an issue with the kid, and the guy ended up barking at the kid, but the kid's 18, and my friend could have easily intervened, but he just kind of stayed to the side. He's like, he's got to learn how to deal with this. You know what I mean? Like a little bit. So Yeah, so that's pretty cool there, man. It was cool to be on Kook of the Day. People love that clip, and it was a lot of fun to watch from the shore and not be part of it, I guess. So the last thing I'm going to wrap up, everybody, man, it's been an honor to have Dave and Steven on today. I want to tell everybody to please go to my Amazon surf store. So it's Epic Surf News on Amazon, and I got surf ponchos, bike racks. I mean, basically whatever Amazon has. So if you go there, you go shopping, even if you don't shop in my store, if you buy other gear after coming to the store, then that'll support the surf blog. So you get the same price, same shipping, doesn't cost you anything more. It's just kind of letting the matrix know that you're down with the vlog. So that's one way to check it, to help us out. Also just watching our videos, commenting and liking, all that kind of stuff. So thanks again, everybody, for checking in. Dave, Kelly, Camp, any last shout outs, things you want to tell the crowd?
Actually, I just want to say, Steve, nice to meet you, dude. You're a cool guy. I'll see you around. No, Phil, thanks for having me, and always appreciate your support. And anytime we've seen each other around, you've always been super cool. And
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it's great to know you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Steven, what's up?
Yeah, so if anybody can give me a ride to the beach over the next 4 months, I just temporarily had my license suspended. You're not going to see my clown car at South Jetty, but I will probably be needing a ride to the beach. So anybody in Oceanside wants to go ahead and drop me off, I can walk to work from there. Please hit me up. You.
Yeah, as long as you bring your own towel, bro. I don't want to share a towel or anything like that. All right. Right on, everybody. Thanks again for checking in. Keep surfing, keep the good vibes out there. Have fun, everybody. You.